Permit me to make a special announcement before our introduction. And an important one. William Shakespeare said, "If I lose my honor, I lose my soul." These I've been very conscious of from my first day of this chamber, and I've guarded my integrity very jealously. When we started the investigation, I had all the confidence to go all the way and ensure we deal with the demon that has kept the Niger Delta region underdeveloped for the 20 years, negating the reason why the Nddc was created. Hence the reason why I supported, and I will always, at every point in time, let it be on record, support the forensic audit ordered by Mr. President. And that is the reason why, even when there was no provision for the forensic in the 2019 Nddc Act, the House, under the leadership of Right Honorable Femi Gbajabiamila, ensured that provision was made for this in line with the anti-corruption agenda of Mr. President. I want to assure ladies and gentlemen that today, the 20th day of July, we are still as committed to that agenda as we were months ago. There is no option, the forensic must go on, but nevertheless, the legislative institution must also be allowed to do its job in line with the constitutional provision of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. However, in the course of this investigation, I have to put this very clear, it's been marred with so many series of blackmails, tantrums, and etc. I have deliberately avoided going on air to talk about this issue because, for me, legislative work are not done on the streets. Legislative work are done in the chambers of the National Assembly. And this is where, today, this legislative work is to be executed. I have said over the last 3 months, I am a federal lawmaker. I am not a governor, I am not a deputy governor. Neither am I the CNC, nor the vice president. I don't enjoy immunity. I have always said, anybody can come around, throw tantrums at anybody. Anybody can accuse anybody of anything. But there are relevant security agencies over the last 3 months which I think should have been approached for this. And I'm saying this in front of camera, that we have not condemned anybody. And this is the reason why this investigation was supposed to last for 2 days. This is the 4th day of the investigation to ensure that there is free and fair hearing. Everybody defends him or herself. We have not come to any conclusion, neither is there any report has been speculated indicting anybody. After all, you cannot judge a case until you see the merit or demerits of it. We are here to talk about issues that has to do with the development of the Niger Delta nation. We are here to talk about issues that will determine the future of generations yet unborn. We are here to talk about issues that will lead to economic emancipation of the Niger Delta. We are here to be the voice of the voiceless, and we are here to provide a supporting hand to the weakest even in our society. Having said this, I want to say it very clearly that issues from day one of this investigation, it's all about issues, and nothing personal. This investigation is not about me as a person, it's not about anybody in the IMC, it's not about the Honorable Minister of Niger Delta, it's not about anybody, it's about the good of the Niger Delta nation. And I want to believe both the executive and legislative arm, we are partners in progress. After all, the leadership of this institution and the leadership of the nation and the leadership of the executive, we share the same manifesto, the All Progressives Congress manifesto. So I believe we are collaborating in order to tighten all loose ends and to ensure that we have a better, a more productive Niger Delta region. Having said this, I want to say clearly that any issue against my person, I will please appeal that this should be sent to relevant anti-corruption agencies. And once this is done, if I have a case to answer, I assure you, I will make myself available. I don't enjoy immunity. The public does not need the type of distraction that we're giving it. The public need issues that have to do with the referral from the House. Having said this, I read in the papers Vanguard precisely of Saturday when the MD CEO of Nddc said maybe I'm on revenge mission. It was on the cover page. I say this clearly, I'm not on a revenge mission. That's on the cover page of Vanguard. Though what happened, I will say very clearly, the Legislative Privileges Act 2007 is very clear with regards to sanction, running into 2 years imprisonment for some of these things. But we are partners in progress. I'm not on any revenge mission, and as far as I'm concerned, there's no personal feud between us as an institution or me as an individual and the Interim Management Committee. At this juncture, because this point has been raised, and in line with my belief that people deserve to be heard and to be heard fairly. Having said this, I wish to clearly appeal to my colleagues. Though you passed a vote of confidence on me, the leadership passed a vote of confidence on my personality as the chairman of this committee. For the sake for Nigerians to know, I'm not on a mission of vengeance. I wish to humbly appeal to my colleagues to recuse me from presiding over this particular meeting. I hope this will give all parties opportunity to present their facts in the interest of the people of the Niger Delta. Honorable colleagues, I plead with you. I know it's going to be painful to most of you, but the right thing must be done in the interest of our nation. At this juncture, I want to thank you very much for listening. I want to thank you very much for your understanding. I want to thank you very much for the level of cooperation. And I want to assure the Nigerian people that this particular agenda is for the betterment of our region and for the nation. Nothing personal, and there's never going to be anything personal. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. God bless you.
John, come on, take this.
Look here. Come. What's the Oloki, ka matsa haka. Do the introduction and start.
Hello, colleagues.
Pretend as if there's nothing like that. Don't pretend.
No. See drama.
No, they wrote. They told me that it should.
Music drama. Leave them.
This is pure drama.
let's allow him to go to prime minister. We allow him to go and take
No.
ai ya gama da kansa duk abin ya duk tambaye da kai ka kansa
Cairo ya ce mishi ya fenti.
ba problem
nothing. We didn't say we shouldn't go now. Who's struggling? Come on, hit your target.
ambulance.
There's a clinic here. There's a clinic here. There's a clinic here.
Call the committee to order. Everybody should be announced. Everybody should be seated. Hello.
Not allow you to sit down. Order.
All this acting that they're acting, they should
She's acting now.
acting.
Join the committee for 10 minutes.
Don't adjourn. No, don't adjourn.
All those who have no business, let them go outside. All those who have no business. Not everybody here have business.
Let's have a seat. Let's have a seat. Let's have a seat.
Committee to order. Call the committee to order.
Let's have a seat.
You must conclude it.
All the sergeant attempt to clear this, we were faced with only people we invited. Let them
Sergeant at all. Where is the sergeant at all?
Call this committee to order. Everybody should sit down.
Director of projects putting on hold.
Yeah.
No, we go leave Nddc now and take the minute.
We have to conduct ourselves, speak to the document we brought and laid to the committee on oath. That is my own submission. That's why we have to get the document and so that we can speak hand in hand with the MD of Nddc. Thank you, Chairman.
No, we will put him.
Let him late.
You responded through your letter 29 June 2020 by submitting a booklet confirming that this is your document. The document you have there, so tell Nigeria, is that the document you submit to the investigating committee?
This one here?
Yes.
Yes, that was submitted.
For the records of you were asked to submit documents. And out of the document you submit, it is only 4 out of 41 documents that you submit. Correct?
I cannot tell you now how many. But, sir, please allow me to make a presentation, sir.
Excuse me, sir.
Wait.
Mr. Chairman. Uncle, you see, we on this side were your representative, and you elected us, and we hold you a duty of care. Okay? We will not abuse the privilege you are given to us to represent you. Okay? Sir, we have rules there. And I'm very happy that my senior brother is sitting next to you, who has been on this side in the past. So now you've had Mr. Chairman.
He has admitted the documents. You should speak to the documents based on
Simple.
how we will talk.
Simple. You have this report, this submission, which you have confirmed is a document, that you are the author, you are the maker. Isn't it? Okay. So, Mr. Chairman, you should lay that document and then we take it, and then we now cross-examine you. Yeah. Because all you have to say, we have to speak to the
document
submission. Okay? So can we have a copy of this submission, then we can now ask questions based on what you have submitted. And then
41 documents to the committee. 41 documents. You only submitted 4 documents, which are before us and before you. That's why we insisted that you have to lay those documents out, and we speak to the document. That's the fact, and this is the procedure of the House. If you want me to read it and tell you what and what we requested you to supply to the committee, I can do that. But I think we don't have much time. The documents are here, and I believe you have the letter. We can speak on the document. That's the proper procedure. Thank you, Chairman.
Procurement plan. Assuming you are not starting new projects. If you are starting new projects, were they accommodated? Did you tell Nigerians the method of procurement you are going to use? This is all the foundation we need to lay. Then we now begin to see justification
for spending
in the money in the funds of spending.
Yeah.
No problem, sir. You get that, sir.
Mr. Chairman.
Okay.
Chairman, you are right. It's a deliberate way. No. Minister.
Excuse the Nddc people. Then we'll take the minister.
It's part of the 2.5 billion naira that is in for the forensic audit in 2019 budget.
We can't hear you well, Chair. MD, please speak out. Speak out.
For the 2019 budget,
Yes.
there was a proposal for 2.5 billion for the forensic audit, out of which about 1.2 was approved. And out of that, I think 318 was approved for the lead forensic auditors, and only a small percentage was paid out before the budget expired on 31st.
So, Mr. Chair.
He didn't say anything. Sorry, Honorable. MD.
Yes, sir.
I believe I'm the one that asks questions and should be answered so that Nigerians should know. I said, this money you paid to Clear Point Communication, the money entails for what? What did you contract? Just hold on. Hold on. What this money entails for? And is this money budgeted in 2019? That's my question to you.
Okay, thank you very much. The money was paid to Clear Point Communication for a variety of purposes, all related to the forensic audit. There are 185 local government areas, and each of them was budgeted for 3.46 million. One, allowances for coordinators per local government area, training for the coordinators, setting up of information desk for the coordinators. These coordinators are the people to identify the sites of all the projects in the Nddc area. Because part of the problems, if you read the Auditor General's report on the Nddc between 2008 and 2012.
Okay, hold on. You contracted Clear Point Communication to itemize or point the project you have in Nddc areas? Is that what you're trying to say?
They will get local people in each of the local governments. They will recruit local people in each of the local government areas to identify these sites.
The site for what?
Where the Nddc projects are.
Okay.
Because most times when they go for inspection, people are not able to locate these projects. And so we needed local people who would guide.
So you pay, hold on, so you pay 641 million for a Clear Point Communication, maybe a consulting company, to ask people to locate project of Nddc. Your own project.
Listen, sir, the people need to be trained also. As pointers for projects. We were trying to change the narrative.
Mr. Chairman.
Just leave. I didn't finish. I still. So, sorry, please. Sorry. So the ClearPoint, the only work we contract ClearPoint to do is to ask people to point project for you.
ClearPoint has been a consultant in the Nddc before I even came in. ClearPoint have been...
But it's named ClearPoint Communication.
They are putting desks, tables, and help desks, communication desks in all the places to locate the projects.
Okay, is that budgeted in 2019? Is 641 budgeted for ClearPoint in the line item of 2019 budget? Is it budgeted for that purpose, to ClearPoint Communication?
I wouldn't say it was ClearPoint distributing in that budget.
Okay, again, you paid 536 million naira to a company with the tagging of the campaign, Save Life in the Niger Delta area. That company, we want to know the company. And is this 531 million equally budgeted to save lives of Niger Delta people? That's another question for you. Save Life campaign, 536 million naira. You paid it. I'm bringing out this issue based on the report you give us to the committee. 641 to ClearPoint Communication, 536 to Save Life campaign in the Niger Delta area. You need to check. Okay, fine. Next thing.
Mr. Chair.
No.
Minister is here.
Minister is here. Let's take the minister.
Honorable member.
Minister, we take the minister. We take the minister.
This, your members never sit down now.
See, let me talk to them. Just talk. Honorable colleagues, please, let's sit down. No.
Minister is here.
Minister is here. Let's take the minister.
Honorable member.
Minister, we take the minister. We take the minister.
This, your members never sit down now.
See, let me talk to them. Just talk. Honorable colleagues, please, let's sit down.
Background to speak to these documents.
Go ahead.
First of all, the statistics from the Central Bank of Nigeria and the Accountant General's office stated clearly that from the 31st of October 2019 to the 31st of May 2020, that the sum of 81.5 billion naira was spent by the two IMCs. But what we're seeing in this committee is that like that 81.5 billion was spent in 4 months by the second IMC. Those are the things I was trying to lay down. That for record purposes, the Central Bank and the Accountant General's office cannot change the figures in 1 week, because that they stated under oath in the Senate ad hoc committee hearing that 81.5 billion was spent from October 2019 to 31st of May 2020. They also stated that from January 2020.
Point of order, Chairman. Point of order. Thank you. Acting MD. Just sorry, I have a valid point to make. Acting MD. We had a presentation from Central Bank. We had presentation from the Accountant General of Federation. We have presentation from BPP. Just tell us from your own side. Forget with the CBN, forget with the Accountant General Office. Whatever you tell us, you are not competent to tell us that. That's why they came, they led the report, and we cross-examined it, they give us what we want, and they left. You can't just come and talk about somebody that you're not there. Talk about Nddc, not CVN and the Accountant General Office, please. That's my take, Chair.
Coco, it's okay. So let's, please, honorable colleagues, please, let's allow the MD, the acting MD to talk. Let him talk to us. Speak on the document, please.
So from January to 31st of May,
Yes.
34 billion naira was remitted from the federal government to the Nddc. Now, out of the expenditure from 31st of October 2019 to 31st May 2020 is 1.5 billion. This IMC spent 59.1 billion, which is very verifiable. Out of the 59.1 billion, it's also verifiable that 38.6 billion was spent on capital projects. The IMC published a list of contractors who have been paid up to the 5th of May in the national dailies, 35.3 billion, and no contractor said it was not paid. Now, all this, the IMC did not give any of those contracts. They are historical contracts that have been existing before we came. On recurrent expenditure, 20.5 billion was expended by the current IMC between 20th of February and 31st of May 2020. It's good to note that a large proportion of the payments were for backlog of expenditure that previous managements had incurred and did not pay. And due to continuous pressures and embarrassment from creditors, the IMC decided to clear these debts. For instance, duty tour allowance had not been paid for almost 3 years to the workers. And we cleared that. Trainings and workshop. The scholarship students, we have not awarded a single scholarship. Each of them is entitled to what is called a take-up grant. And has not been paid for years. We paid, from 2016, they have not been paid. We paid 500,000 naira each, which is what they are due. All the hotels in Port Harcourt are being owned by Nddc. We didn't create those, we paid those ones. They all added up to the recurrent expenditure. There was no electricity in that building, the headquarters building, because of 26 million naira. We've cleared that and electricity has been connected. The transport building is being owed 30 million naira today for over 1.5 years. All the media houses are being owed. Patrick Oki and Co. have not been paid for about 3 years for Nddc today. Sir, I'm just explaining the recordings so that...
Mr. Chairman, sir.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Chairman, my colleagues, I think we need to lay the foundation properly. The MD, acting MD, I'm sorry, sir, acting MD, I just want to guide you. Pursuant to Section 80, 81 of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, you cannot touch a dime, you can't spend a dime, except in a manner prescribed by the National Assembly. So I will expect you, because I've read your submission, sir, and I've also seen the letter waiting to you. So for us to be able to flow seamlessly, so everybody will be on the same page, I expect that you should lay your approved budget first, where you derive the strength to spend the money you are telling us. So that document is very key, sir. I'm talking about you resume work when? You resume work when, sir?
20th of February.
February?
Yes.
Okay, so it is important. If we have your approved budget, be it 2009, which one did you meet on ground?
2019.
Let him answer. Let him answer.
Funds for Nddc comes from two parts. In the federal government budgets.
Either way, you have seen the various streams of income.
In 2017, I mean in December 2019, approved 80 billion naira.
Sir, excuse me, sir. We want that. We want that document. Your approved budget, which you are operating. I know you resume work sometimes in February. Am I correct?
Yeah. We got a letter for budget 20th of March.
For which year?
For the 2019 budget.
2019 budget. So you are operating 2019 budget, isn't it? So we need to have that document, okay? If you have it, please can we have it?
these obstructions are not good. You should have finished.
Because we have record of what you have done here, what you have spent, both on personnel, both on overhead and capital. So please, Mr. Chairman, let us have that approved the document.
This one is...
Just forward the letter.
This one is just approved.
Forward the letter.
No, all these questions
Sir, excuse me, sir, this is the covering letter conveying the
budget
communication between the clerk of the National Assembly and SGF. What I'm asking you is this: the approved budget which you're operating, the approved budget that you're operating, can we have it? Prof, no, you can't put nothing.
you paid acting MD. You paid 641 million naira to Clear Point Communication. 641 million to Clear Point Communication. You paid to them as the MD of NDDC. Is that money budgeted for in 2019? What are the money meant for? 641 million to Clear Point Communication. What are the purpose of the money paid to them? And is this money budgeted to 2019 budget for Clear Point Communication? Thank you. You paid acting MD. You paid 641 million naira to Clear Point Communication. 641 million to Clear Point Communication. You paid to them as the MD of NDDC. Is that money budgeted for in 2019? What are the money meant for? 641 million to Clear Point Communication. What are the purpose of the money paid to them? And is this money budgeted to 2019 budget for Clear Point Communication? Thank you.
Because of presentations by different...
No. Objection. Please, the document, the budget takes lead.
You are making copies to bring to you.
Okay. Okay.
In which there is clear provision of money for NDC. We'll give that to you.
Okay. Just round up.
Well, we have documents we have wanted to hand over in response to the majority of the acquisitions that we've done against us. I don't think
It must have full control. Yes.
we need to present these things.
Yes.
And I should give him a chance to explain these things. If not, because it's put into the public domain. Somebody talked about infant Jesus. We are reading I have all those documents to debunk all those things. Sir, there is a route called Infant Jesus in Asaba. Please, Secretary of State
Acting MD.
He has not been to this.
Acting MD, you recall that when I raised my observation earlier, I pleaded with the chair.
Yes.
Mr. Chairman, sir. Mr. Chairman, sir.
The chairman's room stands. The chairman's room stands. I should go back to the chairman's room. The chairman's room stands.
Mr. Chairman, sir.
Yes.
For fair hearing, somebody spoke on Friday for almost 2 hours without interruption, without even speaking to any document. Those who have been coming to accuse us have come. There's another one called to come again today. That's extra information. And people are giving chance, and me, I'm putting the straight jacket just to only this.
Let him give presentation. Go ahead. Allow him to do now.
MD, MD.
He has the floor.
Please.
Okay,
Honorable member, please.
give him time.
MD, go ahead with your presentation.
When I started, I was trying to lay a background of everything that's happened. I'm going to hand over the file. Different secretaries containing the reasons why we asked the chairman to recuse himself. Then I'll go straight to the point about the different things. We've been accused of the scholarships. We didn't give scholarships, but we had the report that myself and Dr. Cairo, that we paid ourselves scholarships. And the basic truth is that we were processing this scholarship for these students before the late EDFA died. And just as we were about to submit it, we had accusations that our children were in the scholarship list. This had to be brought back and scrutinized. What basically happened is that, like, the universities invited the Nddc to visits for verification and for graduation. They gave the letters and ESTA code was prepared. The preparation of the ESTA code started before I got to Nddc. I only approved it and it was paid on the 16th of April. Because you cannot pay somebody ESTA code the day the person is going to the airport. You have to get a visa procured. There's a long time. If the journey is not made, it is for us to return it. But somebody will come here and come and say, Cairo paid millions to his account for foreign scholarship. Please, we need to debunk that. Right now, as we speak, the scholarship payments is being processed, and this week we clear the scholarship from 2016. The forensic audit, we've been accused of every type of thing. The forensic audit is ongoing. And I will not go into that. The Nddc does not have control over the forensic audit. Our job is to provide the enabling environment and provide the requisite documents and whatever they need. Somebody here said the headquarters building is 74 or whatever. Please, I will have put this on the slide to show you the pictures of where the state is now. Myself and the Cairo, we occupy the 12th floor. That's where we work from. Then, when we came in, the staff morale was very low. Staff had not been promoted for 4 years. We cleared backlog of this promotion. Sorry, this is the secretariat. Take this one for Infant Jesus and this Peter Road. Then bad working environment. Somebody,
Chairman, can I say something?
Infant Jesus is a road in Delta State, in Asada. Please, the environment in the Nddc headquarters today is very poor. If you've been there, cramped, packed rooms. So somebody is talking about there's no justification to go to a new headquarters building that's been going on for almost 20 years. Lassa fever kits, maternal delivery kits, science equipment for secondary schools, all those contracts and payments were before the IIMC2 came on board. We didn't do any Lassa fever payments. Lassa fever payments, let me give you the expenditure profile of the INC before me, so that you can see the payments. I'm going to give you the documents of the Lassa fever kits and everything before we came in. Then I think I'll stop for now. But the thing is that, like, we've gone through a media trial and the judge. I've seen all things about face of a thief, my face of a thief. But with no proof of me stealing anything. I'm going to get documents to hand over to Secretariat so that you can.
Actually, did you finish?
Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, sir.
Yes.
Mr. Chairman, sir. Please. Mr. Chairman. My leaders and colleagues, Mr. Chairman, with your permission, may I request that the clerk of the Secretariat furnishes this gentleman a copy of the budget we have put on.
Simple thing.
If you are not harmed, because I've read the letter given to you, we have various documents that you are asked to furnish this committee. So if you don't have the budget here, we have a committee on library and research. The clerk, please get us a copy of the 2019 approved budget for the acting MD.
From the onset of the interim management. Yes.
Yes.
Prof, your report.
Your mic.
From the federal government remittances.
Yes.
Including revenues.
Including revenue.
In total.
In total, I'm trying to break down. We get about 6.4 billion money. We stopped in June. Well, we're not going to since June. Then we have some payments from the oil companies. Very little.
How much?
MD, you are the chief accounting officer of the commission.
I agree with you, sir.
How much have you received? This interim management committee, how much have you received so far?
So far, this interim management committee would have received about
Mr. Chairman, in accounting parlance, we don't say about 2 plus 2 is 4. So, acting MD, with documentary evidence.
I will provide that.
No, sir, excuse me, sir. If we don't have them here, then we are doing ambush, then we're not able to do anything. So, we have to speak to record. No meanderings, let us speak to record. Your DFA should be handy, you should be around you here to support you, to help you. You came on board in February, between February and July, or June, let's say June. How much have you received? From various sources as captured in the Act, setting up Nddc.
Sit down!
Our guest, sit down, please. Please, that door. Give it.
Acting MD, from the financial report, how much did you receive anytime? How much did you receive from the time this interim management committee has been set up? How much has the interim management committee received?
31st of May, 38.6 billion allocated for projects.
The publication is for June 29.
Yes, we were showing what has been paid as per the 5th of May when the National Assembly made the allegations of 40 billion naira missing. We needed to show that there was no 40 billion naira missing, so we calculated the payments as per that 5th of May, and that's what was published.
Now, but what you have paid as of May is 38.
38.6.
And as of June, you added more to it?
Of course.
With different payments?
I mean, like the Nddc is not a bank. We don't save money. And as I said, we were trying to clear backlog of, because we have cases in the court, garnishee orders. We just even finished paying a contractor who won cases against us, 400 million naira.
Okay, that's one.
And because of that.
Don't worry, that's good. That's good. You told us, we have listened to you, we listened to what you did in the Senate, where you said that a whopping 1.5 billion is to take care of ourselves. Is there any budget line to authorize that take care of ourselves in the budget of 2019 that we approved for you?
I mean, like, if I said take care of ourselves, I must have said that.
MD,
yes, sir.
Please, you are before this committee. Answer the question direct, because you are under oath.
I'm under oath.
Yes, answer the question. That the 1.5 billion COVID-19 palliative you took.
It was not 1.5 billion.
So what was it?
How much is it?
Tell us the figure.
It's 1.32.
And for what purpose?
1.32.
To what? Is it million or billion?
Yes.
1.32 billion. Now the question the honorable House member is asking you, where did you have in the budget line in 2019 where you derived that power to spend that money? That's the question.
I'll provide that answer for you. I don't want to lie on that. I will provide that.
We have the budget. We have to give him. Secretariat, give us the budget.
Give him the budget, please.
Give him the budget.
MD, I know you are a very learned person. You are one of the most learned person in this room.
Secretariat, budget.
You don't have to answer for it now. Okay. It means you spent money. Can you agree with us? Will it be right for us to say that you did extra budgeting expense, which was not budgeted for?
Appeared before us, so that we can go through them and then we can cross-examine them on the content of those submissions.
We cannot be looking at what others. We should look at their submission. We should bring their submission. Then let's walk them through their submission.
Evidence I shall give before this honorable committee shall be truthful, and not the so help me God. The chairman of this committee investigating Commission, members of the committee here present, the Honorable Minister of the Niger Delta Affairs, the Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Niger Delta Affairs. I want to thank the committee for the opportunity to make a presentation. First of all, I want to regret the events of the previous week and just promise that it will not happen second time. Having said that, the growth of the activities of the Interim Maritime Committee
want to apologize for what it is.
Of the Nddc was predicated on the malicious allegation of 40 billion naira missing from the accounts of the Nddc.
Yeah. Mr. Chairman, please.
Yeah, go ahead.
My fellow colleagues, I still remain Wale okay. This is conveyed to him, via the referral from the House. So what I expect this morning is that our brother will lay his submission on oath, and then we can speak to the issue.
Yeah.
Because we can't be talking offhand. So if the evidence professor has made submission to the secretariat of this committee, then we should have copies of submission, and it should lay say publicly on oath. Yeah, that is where we should go. So, Sir Uncle, if you have your submission, please, let us have it. Please lay it on oath. Then we admit the evidence, and then we'll...
And our guest, for the purpose of us that are not here in the last sitting, which was on Friday, and our members too, it behooves us to actually give you an overview of what we did in our last sitting. He stated that on Sunday 26 April 2020, Nigeria watched a member of the IMC, the Director of Projects, Dr. Caro Ojugo, on Channel Television claimed that the Commission has not awarded any contract since the inauguration of IMC in October 2019. But when Hospital Service was mentioned on the program as one of the beneficiaries of the recent contracts on COVID-19, Dr. Caro denied any knowledge of the company called Hospital Service, and that the IMC was waiting for Mr. President approval before the commencement of the process of award of contracts. 5. Mr. Collaway said that contrary to Dr. Caro's claim, Hospital Service was awarded a contract for emergency supplies and delivering of medical equipment and consumable, as well as up to the tune of 638 million naira on the 20th of April 2020. As 15% advance payment, further payment was made in May 2020, bringing the total amount to 4.861 billion. 6. Julius Digger, a contractor, was paid 98 million on the 22nd April 2020 for consultancy for provisions of publication in prevention of the spread of coronavirus in 185 local governments in the 9 Niger Delta states. This company is an engineering firm and has nothing to do with the media consultants, which contravened the Procurement Act, and also there was no trace of the contract implementation. AHRO Global is a transport company but was awarded a contract for the procurement of social relief package for the distressed and vulnerable people across the 9 Nddc states, a program that was not budgeted for, followed due process or approved by FEC. 9. A contract of 268 million was awarded to a company called Table Building and Logistics for emergency consultancy for provisions of refresher training for cadres in prevention and treatment for coronavirus, and the sum of 35 million naira was paid to them. The company is not engaged in a medical and health service, and yet was awarded the contract for training of health workers. The company subsequently subcontracted the job to a medical firm owned by Dr. Ufoman, who claimed she only received 15 million for the job and no more. Furthermore, Mr. Kola only revealed that all the emergency contracts awarded to Jackson and Son multinational described as emergency consultancy for the construction of Infant Jesus. He alleged that this is one of the contract scams. He further complained that payment of 641 million was paid to a company called ClearPoint Communication on the 22nd May 2020.
A copy of it is sent to our invitees. Then, if they have submissions based on the letters you have given them, let them lay their submission at home. That's my application, Mr. Chairman.
So it is important that people who have gone to court, people who genuinely did jobs, should be paid for their jobs. So for me, I'm not against it, because of course, who are even the greatest beneficiaries? It's you people now. Okay. Because if you look at your chairman,
Honorable Minister. Honorable Minister, that's okay. That's okay.
No, can I ask you that question? What is the benefit that the National Assembly is benefiting from?
It's okay, it's okay.
Are you asking me the benefit of National Assembly?
Yes, you just said.
I just told you that we have record to show that most of the contracts in NDDC are given out to members of National Assembly, but you don't know about it.
It's okay.
It's okay. About it.
It's okay.
The two chairmen can explain to you. That is why I was a member. I was a member of the NDC committee.
It's okay. It's okay.
You were a member of the NDC and lot of you were a member of the NDC in the 8th Assembly, and are you telling me that lots lots of jobs were awarded to you as a member.
No, this is the problem. That's why I said you
Then
must
you
change.
have the right to accuse people. Then why can't you bring up
Can
the
you please
people
listen
that...
to me? One of the chairmen
If
also...
you were not awarded a contract, then why are you coming here that you are aware that you were a member of the NDDC and lots of contracts were awarded to this? You said I'm not aware. I'm telling you that bring up those names.
May I inform my honorable sister that is why we have to change the modus operandi.
Honorable Minister, please. It's okay. That is okay. That is okay.
But let me explain.
No, it's okay. It's okay.
Some people are very adamant to change. Akpabio came there with the mindset of changing from the old norms to what is ideal. So they felt that it shouldn't be. Corruption should continue. Akpabio said, no, corruption must not continue. It's part of reform. The reform will not go down well with some people. So that's why you are seeing the fighting that is going on there.
But the Akpabio said he's been accused of corruption and all.
Yeah, anybody can be accused. It is the duty of the court to state otherwise, if he's guilty or not. Anybody that feels aggrieved should approach the court of competent jurisdiction. Then the judgment will be pronounced if the person is accused or not. For now, Akpabio still remains the Minister of Nigeria Delta, competent Minister of Nigeria Delta, and it remains like that. And he's doing the good job. He's cleaning up the system. The bad eggs in Nigeria Delta want it to remain so that they will continue their looting. And Akpabio say no. So it's a case of corruption fighting back.
There is no award of contract that will have ever taken place. We refuse to do so because we don't want to add to the confusion. We have a total of 12,000 contracts and projects, all of them ongoing, a lot of them over 30% paid for and have not been done. Please give me the file for the debts and table. It is good that Nigerians can see what is going on in the Nddc. Give me the file and the way the money was paid. The file for payment for debts and table. Bring it. Honorable Chairman, I will show you what goes on in the Nddc. This is a contract for the supply of debts and table. Mr. Chairman. Now, where did Nddc supply this contract to? They supplied it to Nddc warehouse. Do you know the address of the Nddc warehouse? It's Akwede, Akis, Benin Expressway Road, or Panam, before we take aluminium compound. The owner of this warehouse is Peter Wokoshi.
The man that harassed me is at home. The man who stole the money is at home. The man who stole government files is at home. The man who took money is at home. The man who said I should go and take an oath is at home.
About the NDDC interim committee that is headed by Honorable Godswill Akpabio. You see, before he comes to that committee, he has been in the Senate, he has been governor of Akwa Ibom State. He knows what NDDC is all about. He knows the system of NDDC, he knows their programs because he's a governor from the Niger Delta. So for him to come within 3 weeks of his there and a lot of stories we are hearing about this corruption issue, for me, my personal opinion, I want the president to seriously investigate. I want him to resign his position as a...
We're talking about forensic audit of 19 years, and you are telling us to do a probe of 6 months. I mean, there's no way. And that is a presidential order. 19 years. So we said we are not in support of the probe, pending when the forensic auditors complete their job. When they complete their job, the worst case scenario, you request that the president includes the period that you also want to make your findings within the period that he has mandated the forensic auditors to do their findings.
I'm the acting MD, CEO of the Nddc. But let me just say that we are not comfortable with the chairman of this committee presiding over a matter in which he is an accused party. The Nddc has over the time accused the Honorable Olubunmi Tunji Ojo of different crimes against the NDDC and its people, and he has responded in press. He's an interested party, and we do not believe that the NDDC can have justice because he cannot sit in his own case. We have no issues with appearing before committees because we have appeared before the Senate ad hoc committee. And as long as he is the chairman of this committee, the NDDC will not make any presentations here. There is no point of order here, please. I'm just stating our stand here before we start.
Akpabio and corruption is something that we investigate properly. And if Akpabio will involve himself in sexual abuse, a man having a family, what is a man like that having a family? What do you have to do with the other women? You have your wife there. If you feel that wife is not enough for you, go and marry another one. If that be the case, if your wife is problem, if it is true, it is very, very shameful to him, very, very shameful and disgraceful. So whatever is the matter, he left for them. But if it is true, it is very, very shameful and disgraceful.
The truth is that nobody is there to know whether it is true or not. So except government themselves go ahead to investigate him. I myself, I only saw it in the newspapers, but I did not know the actual thing that happened at that particular point. But the truth is that the people in power is intoxicating so many people. So if anybody levels such an accusation, we will not say it is a lie, and we will not say that it is true. It's only if government can look into it and know the actual thing that transpired between Senator Godswill Akpabio and the lady in question, the former NDDC managing director. So it's only in the hand of God. It's only government that can know the actual thing that transpired if they go ahead to investigate it. So that's how I look at it.
Excuse me. Yes. Bring the other one for the...
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Just calm down. You will have your day. Okay?
I'm angry.
Hello.
The rape of the Niger Delta.
Excuse me.
Is enough for somebody to faint.
MD, can you call your person to order?
It's all right. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Please.
Was awarded 30 contracts for distilling and water hyacinth. Mr. Linus, who was the director finance, refused to sign because it did not follow due process. He also said that I should implicate the chairman of the House Committee, because the chairman of the House Committee had gone to Ondo State for a meeting to plan against him. He told me in the car that, Madam MD, if you don't do what I say, the same pen with which I used to sign your letter, it will be the same pen that I will use to remove you. He said the first thing I should do when I get to Port Harcourt is to change the dollars in the Nddc account. I was scared to do that. He claims that I have poverty mentality, that I am afraid of money. All of you knew they accused me that I refused to spend money. The fact that Senator Wobushi is giving us trouble as IMC, you remember also that they did not recognize the IMC. I said I will not do that letter. He said I was ungrateful and I refused to do the letter. Dr. Cairo now said that he will do the letter. If Akpabio tells him to kill, he will kill before he asks, why did he kill?